Hey guys, just this week I preached a message on the sonship of Jesus Christ. And if you've been raised in a Christian home, you've heard the idea that Jesus is God's son. That's quite a normal concept. But have you ever stopped to think about in what sense is Jesus the Son of God? It's not a biological link, right? It's not like we have sons, a mother, a father, and a son. That's not what we're talking about here. And this whole concept could be actually be quite confusing to someone who is looking into Christianity that doesn't have a Christian background, maybe comes from a different religion, a different culture, and looking in at the belief system going, God has a son? What does that even mean? So we're going to look a bit at that, but there's another descriptor that we're going to look at as well that Jesus talks about a lot. It's the Son of Man. The Son of Man. So these are two descriptors, the Son of God and the Son of Man. And hence, we're talking about the sonship of Jesus Christ. Not all father-son relationships in the New Testament actually refer to a biological link. Sonship is also about identity. It's about purpose. It's about mission. And we see that Jesus says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I'm the Father one. I only do what I see the Father doing. Jesus was a full representation of God the Father in his identity, in his mission, and in his purpose. There's an interesting dialogue in John chapter 8 between Jesus and a few of the Jewish leaders. And it goes something like this. I'm just going to summarize it. You can read about it from verse 31. But Jesus goes, hey, if you believe in me and you listen to what I say, you will be free. And the Jewish leaders go, what do you mean we'll be free? We are not slaves. We're sons of Abraham. And Jesus said, if you were sons of Abraham, you would act in line with how Abraham acted, right? You would have his identity, you would live his purpose, you would have his mission. But you actually are acting out your father's will. And they are a little bit confused and they go, oh, but God's our father. And Jesus actually says, no, the devil's your father. Because the devil's a murderer and a liar. And that was what they were living out. That was their identity, their mission, and their purpose that they were living out. And Jesus says to them, you would know me if you were sons of God. You would be able to recognize me. This whole passage of scripture looks at sonship metaphorically, right? Sons of the devil, sons of Abraham, sons of God. And so what we see here, Jesus is the full representation. He is the Son of God, right? And a good challenge here is to actually consider, what are you and I sons of? If we write down our identity, our mission, and our purpose, what are we a son? What are we what are we the daughter of? Where do we get our identity? Sometimes we're just a product of our culture. We're sons and daughters of our culture. We're sons and daughters of our traditions, our ethnicity. But we're called to be sons and daughters of God. And there is the opportunity for us to be reborn into a new family and get our identity, mission, and purpose from our Father in heaven. There's another title, another descriptor, and that is from Daniel chapter 7, the Son of Man. If you look at how many times Jesus actually references the Son of Man in the New Testament, it's just a huge number. I don't actually have the number. I think it's something like 30 or 40 times. When I was preaching the message, and you can go check that out on the Life and Legacy YouTube page. I put it on a slide, and there were just so many references where Jesus calls himself the Son of Man. And that there is taken from Daniel chapter 7. Daniel has this amazing vision of the throne room of God. Okay, this is hundreds of years before Jesus was born, and he looks and he sees in we read in verse 13, in my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man. It literally means human being. Okay, coming on the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days, which is a name for God. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, sovereign power. All nations and people of every tongue, every language worshipped him. His dominion is everlasting, dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. What man can walk into the presence of God, can be worshipped, can have a kingdom that will never be destroyed, everlasting dominion? Like, this is mind-blowing to a Jewish, like, there's God and there's man, okay? And you do not approach God, and then there is this one that is like a son of man, right? That just is enters into the presence of God and is given glory and honor. Now, this doesn't make sense until you see the claims of Jesus. He is the full representation of the Father. He is the Son of God. And he says he's the Son of Man. The Son of Man. He's saying, I'm that person. I'm that person. There is no other that can walk into the presence of God. It is in the incarnate Jesus that came, grew, saw his body crucified on our behalf, rose from the dead, now sits at the right hand of God as the God-man, the resurrected God-man. And in this, we see the full plan of God through the work of Jesus and his redemption. I think it's just so cool that through the sonship of God, the Son of Man, the Son of God, we get a picture through the New Testament into the Old Testament of God's plan and how he brought us into relationship with him. It is through the Son of God becoming the Son of Man that sons of men can become sons of God. This is a great truth. All right, that's a quick summary. If you want to see the whole message, go have a look at the Life and Legacy YouTube link, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Be blessed. Thanks for listening.